Babe, please, can I get 5K? I just want to use it to get a shirt I saw.
5K. Shirt. Me. Ha.
Yes.
Hey.
What do you mean? Do you mean you can't assist me in buying a shirt?
Please, you are the guy. You should be the one to give me money for stuff and not the other way around.
Hello again and welcome to the program Hot Button. It is a delight to have you join us today. Money, the Bible says, answereth all things. But money, the same Bible says, the love of faith is the root of all evil. However, the world says money makes the world go round. My name is Johnny Ode and I welcome you to Hot Button today, a program about young people and relationship. With me in the studio today are
Esther, Annang, glad to be here.
Onele James.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Money, very, very crucial in a relationship in the world of today. We want to look at financial obligation or financial responsibility in a relationship. Are we supposed to be financially responsible when in a relationship or obligated, when in a relationship? What is your take on that?
I think to an extent we should be obligated and responsible to one another when it comes to the financial aspect.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a must.
Okay.
It's not compulsory. It might just come out of your willingness as one partner. If you feel the need to. But if you don't do it too, it shouldn't be used against you.
So there should be no obligation. You're not obligated to do that. You can do it out of your free will, but not obligated. What is your opinion about that?
Well, I believe that when one is in need, the other should be able to help because one hand washes the other. It's very essential that one puts in something when it becomes necessary, yes.
When it becomes necessary. So giving, generally speaking, is very, very important. Now, when you have a relationship with a boy and a girl, there is this level of, you have to be ready for this relationship. And then when a girl says, you have to be ready, worldly speaking, what we're talking about here is you must be financially ready. Now, whose obligation is it? Who is supposed to be responsible to be financing the relationship?
I mean, relationship to me has more to do with other things more than the financials. So when it comes to the financials, it should, if there's need for it, it should be an agreement between the both of you.
Okay.
It shouldn't fall on one side more than the other.
Okay.
I mean, the both of you should come to a conclusion. Understand your pocket.
Okay.
Who weighs more than who? Who's willing to give more than who?
Okay.
And so when you agree on that terms, then you guys can come up with something that would benefit the relationship.
Okay, so who do you think should bring in more to the table? Like, this is a relationship. Who should be much more financially responsible to that relationship?
I would say that, it depends on the cultural setting of the couple or the people in the relationship. Because
looking at our climb here, Africa, Nigeria, who should be responsible?
The man, I would say.
The man should be responsible.
Yes.
And why would you say that?
Because that is what is socially acceptable here. That is what is socially acceptable here. So since the man is recognized as the head and that authority is so much given to the man, I know that everyone around the world knows that the man is the head. But here, it's lifted up like this, So the woman would expect that, and I believe that it should be the man.
So considering our climb here, it is very, very necessary. It is socially acceptable.
Yes.
And how do I put it now? It is more like a norm that the man should be the head. So why are you saying contrary? Why do you say it has to be negotiated? She has positioned it. The man is the head. So the man should start taking responsibilities.
I think on a lighter note, maybe that's why more men die than women. Because we put all the load on men.
Okay.
You want to form, you're the man. I mean, it has to be with who has the greater strength. There's no crime in you helping out the man out if the man is not capable enough. So this is where you come up to open up to one another.
Okay.
How much do you earn as a salary? How much do I earn? What's my income?
Okay.
Then you weigh together. who has the strength of giving more. If you're not willing to give as a lady, and the guy gives everything he has, and tomorrow you still fall back on the guy, come on, that would be so wicked of you. So when you come, you agree on terms, this is what you and this is what I earn, you earn more than the guy, you can decide to bring more than the guy. And so the guy bringing everything he has to is still total commitment. So it has to do with the both of you. How committed are you to the relationship? What's the view? And that's what I think.
Well, he has just said something about opening up to financial strength, knowing whether the man, you have to wait. Does the man earn more? Does the woman earn more? We have to weigh that before we know who can take up responsibilities. It doesn't have to be the man. Do you agree with that? Especially opening up about financial strength.
Opening up about financial strength, there is something I would want to say regarding that. It's not in all cases that one will have to let the other partner know everything that the individual has, because there are levels in relationships. There's a time that you are just getting to know each other. There's a time that you have spoken with your parents and have made it clear to them that this is the person I'm moving with. There's a time that you said that I think we are settled. I think we should make preparations to get to the altar. Okay. Now, if you make known to the individual, for instance, the property you have, that individual, even if she or he wants to leave the relationship, would want to stay because he knows that there's something I have to inherit. You know, imagine telling the person you have a hotel here, you have a land there. Would he or she want to move? Not at all. So yes, he or she, for instance, when it comes to your paycheck, when it comes to how much you earn, it's something that the person may obviously know, because if you tell me that you probably are a teacher, I can guess how much you're earning, depending on where you are. So, but when it comes to certain things, you don't say everything, depending on the stage in which you are.
So it depends on the stage that you are, that you have to open up to your financial strength or financial capability. Do you agree with that?
I think when you're in a relationship, you should understand that you're not there because of what you want to get from the person. Or it's just that it's a must that you need to be committed to it. And so that's where it comes in, that you don't bring in the notion of I'm in a relationship so that I can get things from him. I mean, today if you ask, 90% of ladies, most of them are expecting to get paycheck at the end of this month from the guy. They expect the guy to take care of their transport. They expect the guy to change their wardrobe. Come on, you put all the load on the guy. Even if the guy is any more than you, the guy too has other things he's dealing with. Because you're now the guy's girlfriend, does not mean he will take care of his entire problem. He has other things he's dealing with too. So when you come into a relationship, you yourself, ask yourself, am I self-sufficient? Can I do without him? Are there things I can do without myself that I don't have to bother him with? And so once you do that, like, this is somebody I love, so I don't want to stress him. I don't want to put too much load on him that will weigh him down. So you'd be considerate to yourself. If I'm in his shoes, would I do the same thing? And so, the guy too, you need to be responsible. You should be willing to give, but we should not put too much load on one another. Don't ask your boyfriend to buy a car for you if he himself is just struggling with his car. He doesn't have a new car. His salary you have to save up for like a year to buy himself a car. And you expect him to buy you a car. Come on, that would be too bad of you.
But if that is not done, if you don't do that to your girlfriend, would she look at the future and say, I hope this man, would that give you such an impression, like, I hope this man will not later come and say, bring your salary, 10% from yours, this one, and then let's do. Would that give you that impression?
It was interesting when he mentioned that some women actually want, maybe I'll call it stipend from their boyfriends. That is, I don't expect that from the women actually. But yes, if a man should show that he can take care of the woman, it would be great that, even if it's small that you're earning, at least give something to the woman so that she will know that you can take care of her. Why do you expect her to go, there are times that one would want to go out on a date. It's true you can be in the room and then you can set up and do something small. But if you could take the lady out, why not? It's just good to allow yourself to save up if you have to, just so that you can do some of these things. I'm not talking about something so big, but you should make an intention. It's not because the woman, she's earning more than I am, so you expect her to be the one to pay for the bills when you go out on a date. That shouldn't be. You should be the one to initiate it and say, let's go out here and then do something.
So a woman should be taken care of.
She
That's
should
what
be
you're
taken
saying.
care of.
Yeah, so a woman should be taken care of. She just said it. A woman has to be taken care of. When you go out, you don't expect her to pay bills. And then, shouldn't a woman, you know, be encouraged to make her hair, dress, smell fine, wear nice creams? Don't you think that's the responsibility of a man, so that you can actually give her the sense that, hey, in future, I will take care of you as a wife?
Yeah, I think every responsible man should do that.
Okay.
You should be able to give the lady a sense of assurance that in future there's something better waiting for you.
Okay.
And you need to show that now. They say a real man is by action, not by words. And so you should be able to prove to the lady, this is what I'm capable of doing. From a little you're earning, surprise her. I mean, if you can afford to take her to a salon to make her hair, take her there.
Talking.
But when it comes to the extent that the lady now fully depends on you, forgets what she is earning and now depends on what you're earning.
Okay.
Like, I will not make my hair until I see him. I'm not going to change my phone until he comes around. Come on, that would be too bad. I mean, what are you doing as a lady? Why are you working?
But that is in the case of a lady who is earning. We know that the kind of society we live in today, most ladies don't even earn. Even if they earn very meager things. So shouldn't a man take his place as the head of the, a potential head of the family, and start, handling financial obligations from there?
I think a man should take his place, actually.
Okay.
But it's still a relationship. I mean, you're not yet there.
So but isn't a relationship like a testing ground
it is
for future marriage?
It's a testing ground. It's a preparation ground for future marriage.
Okay.
But it's not the future marriage yet.
Yes.
So don't put the entire load on your head yet.
Okay.
I mean, if you won't make things easier for yourself now, when you enter the marriage, man, you'll be in big trouble. Because that's what you've been doing all this while. So you can't just change when you enter the marriage. So it's better to set things straight now while you're in the relationship. Understand that I can't do everything by myself. I mean, if there are things you cannot afford, you can explain to your partner, I mean, give me time. I'll be able to save up so that we can afford this. I mean, so that way, I mean, an understandable partner might even surprise you and do that thing behind you. And then we'll come tell you, I've done this for you, and done like that, and you will be happy. So
a partner you should have an understandable partner who will understand your financial strength. But when you are in a relationship and then you find your boyfriend beginning to set this kind of standard, like, we are not married yet, why are you expecting care, financial responsibility from me, because the Bible says I'm the head? Does that give you any form of cold feet towards future marriage?
Yes, because here we are, it's just you and I. What if children come in? If you're unable to do some of these petty things, then I'm wondering what you'll be doing for my kids.
Okay.
Besides, when a man starts to take up some of these responsibilities, puts in a little here, a little there, he gets to realize that, ooh, I thought I was ready for marriage. But then I've realized that even with just this individual who I'm adding on to my responsibility, I'm not able to match up. So it gives the man the sense of wanting to do more. So I believe that giving a little here and there makes that thing, makes the man want to do more, and then shapes him better for the marriage.
So giving, adopting the principle of giving to your partner when the partner is not even asking, gives you a sense of responsibility to even think towards balancing yourself for marriage.
Exactly.
We are still talking about financial obligation or financial responsibility when in a relationship. I still have Esther and James here, and we're still discussing. So be a part of this. Now, we're talking about who should be responsible for the finances. Are you saying categorically that it is not the duty of a man to be financially responsible to a lady he is in a relationship with?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, it has to do with the both of them.
Okay.
I mean, for every selfless person,
okay,
you should be committed in every way to a relationship, whether it comes to the financials too.
Okay.
But as a man, as the society has tagged you to
okay,
be, and as you're presented to the world, and so you should be up and doing too. I mean, that's a building ground to where you want to be in future. So you should show that sense of responsibility too.
Okay.
And at that too, it should not just be limited to the man alone.
Okay.
The lady too should be able to show a sense of commitment to it.
Okay, so while a man shows a sense of responsibility, the lady should show a sense of commitment. Great point. Now, Esther, do you think a man is directly obligated to take care of a woman when in a relationship?
The man has to take initiative. That's the word I would like to use.
Okay.
Take initiative. When it comes to dropping the lady off when you have gone out on a date, you shouldn't be telling the woman bye-bye and expecting the woman to jump into the car and then pay it by herself. You should take initiative. If you try to put the money out and the woman, knowing that, oh, you don't have so much, she can say, no, thank you. That is better than just putting her in the car and saying goodbye.
But is it wrong to sit on the table and say, okay, our bill is 10,000. Here, this is 5,000. Can you bring your 5,000? Let's pay. Is there something wrong with that?
Well, the way you put it makes it funny, but
okay.
Well, it's important to have discussed how much you both are going to pay, you know. And I believe that if anything at all, you, the man, should have been able to go by cut your coat according to your size. If you know that you can't take a bill of 10,000, take the woman to a place that you can bear the bills. All right. And if you think that you want a special night, but then it's going to weigh more on you, then you can discuss beforehand so that you don't go there and then say, bring your money. 50-50 doesn't make sense.
So is it wrong to say, okay, we are going out, we are going to maybe a very nice eatery, restaurant, or a nice place, and then is it okay to just call your lady and say, well, I have this, and then how much do you have there, so we can combine the money and know if we can actually go in that direction? Is this something a man will do? Is that something you will do?
I think it depends on where the level of the relationship is.
Okay.
If you're just starting, you don't just come up with something like that.
Okay.
It would portray you as an irresponsible man. And as someone who, I mean, even I as a lady, if I'm a lady, wouldn't want to spend my future with.
Okay.
Because that's a sense of irresponsibility.
All right.
Yes, of that.
Okay.
And so, but if you, the both of you have gotten to a point where you're ready, I mean, having that dream of marrying in future, you know where you're going. I mean, you've been consistent with trusting each other.
Okay.
I mean, you can get to that level where I am carefree with you. I can just give you a call. Like, and today I feel like eating pepper soup. Come on, would you like to have pepper soup too? But what I have with me right now is not even up to 10K, but I know they charge 10K. Do you have 5K there with you? And she would understand. That's because from time past you've been responsible.
Okay.
When you were capable, you've been up and doing. But now that you don't have enough, I mean, you might even be surprised that she might even take over the whole bill, knowing that you do not have enough to take care of the current bill.
So when there is a consistent trust and then a level of understanding over time, you can be free enough to tell your partner, hey, this is what I've got, and I feel like going so place to have fun. Do you have enough to augment to what I have, and then we can have this fun? Like, it should be an open thing, and then I don't think such a thing can actually give any wrong kind of impression. It means you're also showing reliability. You can actually rely on the woman as you are also responsible to the woman. Great points we're looking at there. My next question is, should my partner have direct access to my money?
Definitely not. Absolutely not. I don't agree.
Okay.
You don't need to have access to the other person's account. You're not yet married.
Okay.
And even in marriage, you would have to discuss to be able to identify whether that is fine with you to, even with regards to joint accounts, you would have to discuss all of these things. But to have a direct, no, I don't think so.
No direct access?
No.
So if you're given an ATM to his account now, you say, no, I don't want it.
I'll take it.
Oh, come on, she'll take it. Definitely, she'll take it. So what do you think? Should a partner have direct access to the other person's account?
I think I want to agree with that to some extent.
Okay.
But my take is, know what works best for you.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys can be open enough to one another. Okay. I mean, if there won't be problem. I mean, if I know you, but the danger there is if I know what my partner is earning and I find out my partner is earning more than me, I mean, there's a probability of you as a man holding back sometimes, and you'd want to be at mercy of the other person. Like, come on, you know I earn less, so why don't you just bring in more? So it's safe to know what you earn as an individual and be responsible enough. And if you're responsible and you trust one another and you're up and doing, and I think there won't be that problem. Okay. So even if you're not buoyant enough to take care of something, you'd be surprised your partner would come up to and assist you and lift you up, since it's a relationship.
But looking at it that way, you said you wouldn't agree for a partner to have direct, access to the other person's, money. having access to me, you're not spending it already. You just know where the money is. Now, don't you think that having such knowledge of your partner's money would help in curbing recklessness so that the person can be accountable? Like, I thought you had 100,000 here. How come what's left here is now 20,000? Don't you think it's a way of regulating how the person spends?
Oh, well, it doesn't always curb recklessness.
Okay.
It doesn't always curb recklessness in the sense that if someone wants to be reckless with spending, the person will find all means possible to be reckless. And it comes with some level of counseling and guidance. So making the person accountable is one thing that you'll be looking at.
Okay.
Because if the person decides to spend that amount, you probably will not be able to know why he or she spends that amount. He would have to tell you first. So be able to establish the level of communication, getting to that level of communication is what is essential, not necessarily getting the person to know what is in your account or not. Because if you have that kind of if you have the level of communication that permits you to discuss what you're going to use your money for, then you're heading somewhere. But if the person decides to withdraw an amount of money and doesn't discuss with you what he or she wanted to use it for, and simply tells you, oh, I used it for this or I used it for that, the person would give you all reasons why he or she had to withdraw the money.
But you wouldn't know. How would you know if you don't know how much is there, if you don't have access to the money? Why should the person tell you what he or she is spending money on?
You really don't need to.
There's no need to know.
You really don't need to. You really don't need to know what's in the account.
Let me get that straight. I hope you understand my question.
Sure.
If you do not know how much is in an account of someone, how do you help the person to be frugal in spending? Aren't you supposed to know? Because if the person is just spending, you don't know what, and then you ask, okay, please, can I have? No, I don't even have anything in my account anymore. The month has gone far. What did you do with your money? Doesn't that access to your money determine how well you manage your account? Because there's someone to ask you questions on what did you do with it and what happened to the money?
I think making a move to know, what your partner has sometimes might be very dangerous, especially to men.
Okay.
Our ego will not allow us to open up sometimes. You'll be like, come on, this is my money. I earned my money. Why are you interested in my money? Your partner sometimes might want to read meaning into it, like, is she trying to know what I have? Is he trying to know how much I earn? And so, I think the most important part is, in a relationship, you guys should be able to sit up and discuss, what's your investment plan? Okay. Do you have any plan for the future?
Okay.
That way, you'll be able to know if your partner is up and doing, if your partner is not just the reckless type. How would someone grown up, planning to have a future tomorrow, planning to have children, planning to live well, not have an investment plan for the future? And so that way, you'd know if your partner is actually reckless. Also, how will your partner collect salary at the end of the month, and not have anything? Before the end of the month, he's broke. And that happens every time. That way you can tell this is not the right way to go. You can easily advise your partner, let's invest in something too.
But words of the mouth. If you don't see the money, how do you know it's there? There are partners that are broke, they won't tell you. And then you know the money is not there. So if you don't have access to the money, how do you know how to check the person? How is there going to be that check and balances when the person is spending?
I still go by the fact that communication is what is key, not knowing what...
But communication, I still have 40,000 naira in my account. I still have 400,000 naira in my account. But there is nothing. If you don't see that money, if you don't have access to it, how would you know?
If the person would lie about something like that, then you can't even trust the person with other things. You have to let the person be able to build the confidence enough. Know that he or she can trust you enough. Okay? So that you wouldn't have to go to that extent of telling a lie.
Okay.
So that is the roots. That is the foundation. Communication is the foundation.
Communication is the foundation. So you don't necessarily have to put your eyes to keep checking and searching. Has he spent 1 naira? Has he spent 2 naira? You have spent again, and all that kind of stuff.
And saying that you say you're going to buy a bag. Where is the bag?
It's not communication necessary. Is the very, very key thing when it comes to financial issues. That drives me to the last question. So how best should partners discuss financial issues with themselves? Let me take it from you, James.
All right,
very quickly.
So I think partners should open up to themselves first.
Okay.
Then, as a man, be responsible. then have a sense of commitment as a lady too, and understand that your relationship now would be a test drive for what will happen in future. So that way you guys should be able to build the templates you can follow as time goes on too, and be committed to one another. It shouldn't just fall on one side. So if you as a lady are in the position to help the guy, there's no crime in helping the guy too to grow. I mean, but as a guy too, don't relent. Be up and doing. Know it's your responsibility and own up that responsibility too.
As a guy, know it's your responsibility. Own up to the responsibility, because your relationship is a template for what is coming ahead. Be responsible and be committed. All right, what would you say? How best should partners discuss financial issues? Very quickly, your last word.
How best? It should be to the level that they know this is going to happen when they finally get married.
Okay.
So however you're going to spend it, let it be known. Your plans that you're going to have towards spending, let it be known. And that is what I think should be.
Your plans of spending should be made known to your partner. How you spend should be made known to your partner. And who knows, this could make you to live a very frugal life, and then you don't have to be so flamboyant in spending. You don't have to be reckless. If there is this financial talk between you and your partner, definitely you will learn how to become financially responsible. It's a very good way to go, and it is very, very important to have discussions when we are in relationship. It is on this note that we leave you here today. We hope you join us next time for another interesting episode of this program. Until then, stay safe and keep being real in your relationship. God bless you.